Science and scripture, two domains often seen in conflict, but is it really so? Often the perception of a contradiction between science and scripture is based on a surface-level view. Many times this perceived discord stems from specific scientific claims that appear to be at odds with the teachings in scripture. However, when we delve deeper, we find that these clashes often arise from underlying assumptions, not from the facts themselves. Some might argue that science is about discovery and evidence, while scripture is about blind faith, but aren't both, in their essence, quests for truth? In this video, we'll examine some of these contentious scientific claims, we'll explore the assumptions they're based on, and evaluate whether they truly conflict with scripture, or if they can coexist harmoniously, each offering its unique perspective on the world. So let's not shy away from asking hard questions. Let's dive deeper into the claims that are often said to be in conflict with scripture. First, let's explore the theory of evolution, a topic frequently brought up in the science versus scripture debate. Often hailed as the cornerstone of modern biology, evolution is also a subject of speculation. Why so, you ask? Well, the crux of the matter lies in the nature of empirical evidence. Empirical evidence, the bedrock of science, is based on observation and experimentation. However, the process of creation, the starting point of evolution, is something no one can recreate or observe directly, making it impossible to gather empirical evidence for the same. This is not to say that there is no evidence supporting evolution. Fossil records, genetic similarities, and observed changes within species over time do point toward microevolution, but not macroevolution, which is one species changing into another. Those promoting macroevolution do so based on a subjective interpretation of the data rather than empirical evidence. Moreover, scientific theories are often built on a foundation of assumptions. These assumptions can lead to different interpretations of the same set of data. For instance, the age of the Earth, a key component in the theory of evolution, varies wildly depending on the assumptions one uses. So what does this mean for the theory of evolution? It means that while evolution is widely accepted, it also relies heavily on assumptions and interpretations. This inherently leaves room for discussion, debate, and even doubt. Now let's turn our attention to empirical science, the science based on observation and experiment. Empirical science at its core is about taking a hands-on approach. It's about observing phenomena, conducting experiments, and gathering data to illuminate the laws that govern our universe. It's about drawing conclusions based on what we can see, touch, and measure. This differs greatly from speculative science, which often relies on theories and assumptions that, while plausible, are not directly observable or testable. Evolution, for instance, is an example of speculative science. Despite many theories, no one has been able to recreate the process of creation or evolution in a laboratory setting. When we turn to empirical science, however, we find a different story. Take, for example, the laws of physics. These laws, tested and proven time and again, do not contradict the teachings of Scripture. Instead, they reveal a universe of intricate design and exquisite balance, one that echoes the divine craftsmanship described in the Bible. Or consider the field of biology. While evolution remains a point of contention, other aspects of biology, such as the complexity of the human body, align beautifully with the scriptural affirmation of our being fearfully and wonderfully made. In these ways and many others, empirical science, when properly applied and understood, does not conflict with Scripture. Instead, it offers a lens through which we can observe and appreciate the workings of God's creation. As we can see, when properly understood, empirical science does not conflict with Scripture. In conclusion, the supposed conflict between science and Scripture relies heavily on the type of science and the assumptions made. Throughout our discourse, we've examined how certain scientific theories, like evolution, are speculative in nature, lacking empirical evidence, and thus not inherently contradictory to the teachings of Scripture. On the other hand, we've also touched upon how empirical science, grounded in observable and measurable phenomena, often harmonizes with the timeless truths of Scripture when we carefully scrutinize the underlying assumptions. This exploration invites us all to critically evaluate scientific claims and be aware of the assumptions we carry into our understanding of the world. We should remember that science is a tool, and like any tool, its efficacy depends on how we use it. Feel free to continue the discussion in the comments section or share this video with others who might be interested. Remember, a true understanding comes from open and respectful dialogue. Thanks for watching.